Welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport.
Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport and a roundup of all the motorsport that happened over the last week, and we have a big selection to get through, so remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment with your thoughts, and with that, let's get started on this week's motorsport roundup. So while many events have been postponed or cancelled outright due to the recent outbreak, 3D Botmaker Racing bravely went ahead with the finals of the Ferrari Diecast Racing Tournament, and what an event it was. Many thought that pre-race favourite Caden Richards in the gold Ferrari F40 had this tournament in the bag, but there was to be a huge surprise in store. The Ferrari Fiero, a strange car, I can't seem to find it on Google or Wikipedia or anywhere. It must be a super rare car. But driven by Crazy Jimmy, this thing had some real go and dominated the final round of the tournament. What a performance. As for Caden Richards, it was a disappointing final, and he can only look back in shame at what must have been the biggest upset in diecast history. In the Marbula 1 Grand Prix, we had an exciting contest, and Origin had a good lead early on, but lost it to Bolt on lap 6 after a mistake through the tight section of the track. After that, Bolt extended his lead, whilst Origin dropped to third behind Yellop. With just 2 laps left, Origin got past Yellop and caught back up to Bolt in the lead, who then made a mistake himself, letting Origin back through, and it is a lead he would not lose again, taking the win by 2 seconds from Bolt, with Yellop back in third. Hazers led the championship into this race, but Hazy had a bad race and finished 11th, but kept the lead in the championship, but it's close and hotting up. In esports, we had the Australian Grand Prix, with a mixture of race drivers, footballers and top YouTubers racing at the Melbourne circuit. Some madness early on caught Arava off guard and dropped him through the field, but the race belonged to Veloce Danny, who never looked like losing. Thibaut Courtois showed the composure and cool head that caused Real Madrid to sign him and gave a good account of himself, but the highlight of the race was the battle between Lando Norris and Tia Marduk. They were very close to each other towards the end of the race, and in the end Lando Norris got the better and headed into the distance. This was a very exciting race, and we didn't have to wait long for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula Danny took pole in Bahrain and led from the front in a much shorter race, guaranteed to give us action. Lando Norris hit an Alfa Romeo, and Super GT in the Ferrari was spun round on the first lap. James Baldwin ran wide but managed to get away with it, very lucky to keep his third place. Jean-Luc Mir was on the hunt, but it was just a step behind the winner of the Australian Grand Prix, Formula Danny. TRL Limitless got some front wing damage late on and dropped behind a few cars in what was a very close battle in the midfield, but no one could stop Formula Danny, who won a second race in a row. This was followed by a reverse grid race. Chaos at the back of the grid at the start, which led to Stoffel Vandoorne leaving the game. Bit of an extreme reaction. A really tight battle between several cars here. In fact, cars everywhere. But it was a big shock on lap 7 when Formula Danny spun his Alfa Romeo all on his own. After being so consistent up to this point, it was a mistake that summed up this reverse grid race. Hulkenberg launched one up the inside of Broadbent, but didn't brake hard enough and lost out. But it was Chembo Lukbazi who took the win. But the best fight on the final lap was between Latifi, Tia Marduk and Arava. All three very close, producing some great racing, but Arava and Latifi collided right at the end and dropped back. Thank you for watching as we continue to struggle through this motorsport drought. I am subscribed to all these channels. Honestly, when I found 3D Botmaker's channel, I thought it was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen. But within a couple of days, I had watched every video on the channel, and they are truly some of the most addictive videos on YouTube. As is Gel's Marble Run. I'll put links to both their channels in the description below, along with some playlists to tide you over. The esports was a great watch as well, and I thought I'd just create a joke motorsport roundup to go with it. So thank you for watching, please leave a comment, maybe consider subscribing, and in these troubling times, please stay safe and have a good one.